A really good burger is one of life's greatest pleasures, a simple, effective delivery system of meat, cheese, and carbs. It's almost a spiritual experience, a salty, fatty, divine intervention, all in the palm of your hand that's accessible, cheap, and delicious. Get it wrong, though, and nothing will make you feel like the world is against you more than a sad, gray, dry hockey puck of sadness. So how do you make a great burger at home? How do you keep the beef juicy and yet so crispy? What bun do you use? What condiments? What cheese to use? Do you add salad or not? What seasonings? Adam is going to show you the do's and don'ts, the whys and hows, so you can obtain epic burger perfection at home without having to spend a fortune at a burger joint, and will taste a damn sight better to boot.
I've been having a craving for a burger recently. I haven't had one for quite some time. But I want to ask you a question. Okay, what do you think makes a really good burger? And if you don't know, the answer might surprise you. But fear not, I'm going to talk you through the whole process, show you what to do, show you what not to do. But the first thing it starts with is to stop listening to those flipping TV chefs that think they know it all, because they don't, they really don't. And I'm looking at you specifically, Gordon Ramsay, putting flipping egg in your minced beef. Like, what's wrong with you? You don't need to do that. You really, really don't. Now, a good beef burger has got to start with, well, good beef, hasn't it? Oh, well, that didn't go very well, did it? Now, I've got this beef from my local butcher, my old mate John down the road. And you can already see, like, the quality of that beef. It's a nice deep red colour and it's proper good minced beef. Because if you start your burger with shit beef, well, your burger's not going to be that great, is it? And it's not just about the beef, it's about the fat content as well. And the reason for that is because, well, if your burger was just beef, it'd be dry as hell. You need the fat to kind of give it moisture so that you get a nice juicy burger at the end of it. And you're kind of looking for around about an 80-20 split. 80% beef, 20% fat. You can kind of get away with about 15% as well, but anything like less than that, you know, if you're looking like 10 or 5% like fat, it's not going to work. Now, obviously, we need to turn this lump of minced beef into burger patties. I like to weigh mine out. You can kind of skip that and kind of eyeball it if you want, but I like to weigh mine out just so I've got consistency. And an ideal weight is about 6 ounces, which is 170 grams. Now that seems like quite a lot, but remember what's going to happen is when we cook the burger, there's going to be some shrinkage. So we want them kind of a bit big, so when they shrink, they fit the bun nicely. But I'm going to loosely form this into a ball. Now, this is one of the first mistakes people make, is they overwork the meat. Okay, you've got to caress it, you've got to treat it like a newborn baby. All right, be gentle with it. Okay, just love it, caress it. Just gently press it together. Okay, that's it. That's all we need to do. Big fat meatball. So I've got 3 patties here. I've got 2 at like 170 grams, 6 ounces. And this one's like a little bit smaller, so I'll probably use that for something else. And that's the benefit of weighing them out really, because then you can calculate how many burgers you want and how much beef you need to ask your butcher for. And really with this, less is more, okay? So we've got our balls of meat here. So I'm gonna pop it onto a square of baking paper, greaseproof paper, and just gently press it out. And you don't want them too thick. You can use a burger press if you want, but do not overwork it. Do not overwork the meat, because it'll be a sad burger if you do. Okay, so you see how thick that is as well? It's about the thickness of a pound coin. Not too thick, not too thin. It's good size, that. And then take another piece of baking paper and pop that on the top. And then when you do your next burger, like this, you just take your patty, pop it on top. And then you just repeat that, how many burgers you want. Obviously I'm only using 2 burgers here, but the reason we do this is because you can stack them up as many as you want, and they can go in the fridge and kind of sit to one side until you're ready to make your burgers. It just means that transferring them like to the frying pan is a lot easier. Now remember when I said earlier, don't overwork the beef, don't mix it too much. There's a reason for that. You know, there's probably some clever bollocks in the comments that can come up with a proper coherent answer as to why this is. But essentially, if you overwork it, it's going to toughen up the beef. It's going to make it too dense. You're going to end up with like a tough, dense, dry burger. Okay, less is more. There's how many times you've gone to someone's house for a barbecue and they've made up some burgers and they end up being like these dry, thick hockey pucks of grey meat. Right, it's not a good experience for all concerned. Next thing is your bun of choice. This is also important because depending on your bun of choice, it will affect the end product. Now there are 2 qualities I'm looking for in a burger bun. One is structure and one is texture. In terms of structure, I want something that's going to kind of stand up to that burger. It's going to hold everything together and not fall apart. But also in terms of texture, I want it to be soft. But we are going to toast the inside of it to get that kind of crispiness as well. Doesn't matter what kind of bun you use. You can use like brioche, you could use potato bun, or in this case, I'm going to use some soft white rolls. But Word of caution, stay away from these bastards. These things here, these pre-cut burger buns. And there's a simple reason why, okay? They're not very good at all. Okay, they're already cut, which you might think, oh, that's a good, convenient thing to have. But look, I mean, it's already happening already, you can see. They just don't hold together, okay? They just easily break, okay? There's no integrity there at all. They just fall to bits, which means the burger's gonna fall apart in your hand. And they're kind of a bit tough, they're not fluffy and soft, they're a bit almost stale-like. So stay away from pre-packed, pre-sliced burger buns like these. No good. You can already see the difference between the two. Look, you know, your pre-cut burger bun just comes apart straight away versus your nice high-quality bread roll that just, you know, soft, it's fluffy, and it holds together properly. It doesn't fall apart in your hand. Right, I think we're kind of ready to make some burgers. Okay, got a nice pan there, nice skillet. And the first job we're going to do is toast our bun. Or buns, depending on how many you're using. So I've got my cut bun here, and I'm going to add some mayonnaise. You can use butter, just a little bit on each side, okay, and then just kind of spread it out to cover the bun. And we're going to get the hob on, not too high, probably about a 4 or 5 on an electric. And as that starts to get kind of hot, lay your buns down. It only needs like a minute or so, and you'll see we've got some nice toastiness on there. Look at that. Shit, it's hot. It's not burnt, but it's just nice and crispy and golden brown. That's what you're looking for. Now, before we go any further and make these burgers, let's talk about cheese, okay, or lack thereof. It's not really original cheese, is it? But whatever you think about these things, they work. Don't mess with perfection. Keep your fancy cheeses like your Goudas, your Emmental, your nice aged cheddars, whatever it is, keep that for your cheese board or something else. These things work in a burger. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, I know it's not real cheese. I know that. But there's a reason why these work. It's got a low melting point, so it melts nicely on the burger, and it's got this kind of sticky, kind of cheesy flavour, which just complements the beef. It just works. Like, don't mess with perfection, just use these. Condiments. And I reluctantly went and bought, like, Heinz ketchup. It is good ketchup, but look at the freaking price, man. Bloody rip-off. So I'm going to add a little bit to the bottom of my bun, just a little bit. Now, you could add mustard if you want, but don't use English mustard. It's far too powerful. You know, you want something like an American mustard like French is, okay? It's a bit milder and less like in your face. Now, I personally believe you can add too much to a burger. You can overdo it. A bit of lettuce is fine, okay? And in this case, I'm adding a little bit of red onion. Just a little bit, just a couple of rings. I would say leave the tomato, like leave it out. Because for me, I don't think tomato adds anything to a burger. Especially when it's an out of season, bland, orangey kind of tomato that's got no flavour. It's just adding water to your burger, and you don't want that. You want to taste the beef, not a soggy, flipping, floppy bit of tomato that doesn't taste of anything. Right, it's burger time. And here's where things get a bit smoky, all right? So what you want to do is get your pan on nice and hot to its max setting, which is 6 for me, and open your flipping window. All right, there we go. Ooh. And get that pan nice and hot. Okay, and I've got my burger patties out of the fridge. They're ready to go. So I'm just going to take this one off the top first. And we're only going to use salt and pepper to season this. You don't need anything else. If your beef is of good quality, you don't need to add onion powder, garlic powder, flipping Old Bay, paprika, whatever. Just salt and pepper. Now once that pan is nice and hot, we're going to go in with our first burger. I don't think I'm going to fit both in here, to be honest. There we go, straight down. You shouldn't need any oil. There should be plenty of fat in that beef to kind of self-lubricate. And we'll season the other side as well. Beef loves pepper, so don't be afraid to put plenty on. A bit of salt. And leave it the fuck alone. Don't like move it around, because we need to create that caramelisation or the Maillard reaction. Because you want that nice dark brown colour, because that's going to create flavour and texture. So don't touch it. We're going to cook it most of the way on one side before we flip it. It's not going to take very long at all because they're nice and thin. I'd say about a minute. And look how much that has shrunk after about, like, it's just 30 seconds in the pan. Look at the difference between the two. That's why it's always important to make your burgers a bit bigger than your bun. Okay, to allow for shrinkage. Look, speaking of which, I think this one can go in now. I'm going to whack my second patty in. Season it up. I think this one is ready to flip. Oh yes! See that there? That is flavour. All that brown in there is going to give you the best burger of your life. It's bloody smoky in here. That's why it's important to have your flipping extractors on, which I probably should do. It's just a bit noisy. Now we're going to lay on some cheese. So just take it out, whack it on. And another piece on there. And at this point, I'm going to turn the heat off, because those burgers are 99% cooked. And I'm going to add a little splash of water, and then pop a lid or plate on the top, and then just leave it for like 30 seconds. And you can already see the cheese is starting to melt, because that water is going to add steam, which is going to help melt the cheese. And then straight onto your bun. You can have like one patty, but I'm a greedy fat bastard, so I'm having two. Just another tiny bit of ketchup on the lid. It's just going to kind of help hold everything together. And in my personal opinion, no burger is complete without some pickles. Some people hate them, some people love them. I think they're fantastic. Then pop your lid on. So before I smash this in my gob, let's kind of break down the flavours and textures, what we've actually got here. It's got a nice toasted, pillowy, soft bun. We've got acidity and crunch from the pickles. We've got saltiness and savouriness from the beef and the cheese. And then again at the bottom, we've got like crunchiness and sweetness from the onion and the ketchup. And again, that nice, soft, pillowy bread. It all makes sense. I can't wait for this. It's going to be a messy bite. Oh God, I think I just soiled myself. That's the tastiest delivery system of meat, cheese and carbs you're ever going to have. It's juicy, it's full of texture, but most importantly, you can taste the beef. Right? Start with good beef, you're going to end up with a good burger. And I go right back to the beginning. Is that off? Don't want to cause a fire. I go right back to the beginning when I say less is more. Okay, don't overdo it, don't overwork it with the condiments, don't mix loads of stuff in with the beef. Keep it nice and simple. And think about those textures and flavours you want with that beef. You want saltiness, you want acid, some sweetness. Combine those things together, it's going to be a great burger, isn't it? But listen, I'm going to leave you to it, because I really want to smash that in my face right now, because I'm starving. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see your gorgeous faces next time. Bye!